Hey, what's up guys, it's Janado here, and put your pussy fingers to the moon! 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 Moon, moon, moon! Moon, moon, moon!
How's it going, everyone? Boy Janado here with a post commentary. In the background there's going to be some CSGO footage. Don't worry, I didn't quit CSGO. I'm just taking a quick little break from CSGO. I played one match in D rank to silver 1, so I got infuriated and quit the game and uninstalled. But don't worry, I'm not quitting. I'm just taking a quick little break so I can probably rank up more easily and not get more flustered. Anyways, some CSGO deathmatch footage would be in the background. And I'll be talking about this one time one lady assaulted me at work. So, I work at Honey Baked Ham, and for those of you outside the US that don't know, Honey Baked Ham is a store that sells ham and other food goodies during the holiday season like Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, etc, etc. So, I was working Thanksgiving morning, and I was really tired. It was 7 in the morning, barely awake, and out of the corner of my eye, I see this one customer, this one angry old lady, like hobble out of her car, and she's like hunched over, clenching her fists, like the Arthur meme, you know, like the clenched fist Arthur meme, and she's like mumbling to herself or talking to her. I thought she was just like talking to her husband over the Bluetooth headset, like, "Oh, what ham should we get, honey? Get the honey baked ham or the honey baked ham?" So I thought she's just asking her husband like what ham she wanted to buy, so I just didn't care. I was just too busy bagging. And we had one sales representative stand at the front of the store, this old sweet guy. I know him pretty well. He's a nice guy. He's a little bit spacey, doesn't exactly know what he's doing most of the time, but he's a nice guy. He talks about absolutely nothing. What he does is he stands at the front of the store, guides people to the line, like, "Oh, this is where the line starts, so would you like to try this ham? Oh, we have samples too. Come on in. It's holiday season." So he's just standing there doing his job, and this old lady just hobbles in angrily, like she has a grudge. She wants to like shoot up the store or something. So she hobbles in, and the sales representative like says like, "Oh, how can I help you today?" And then she just goes off, and she's like, "You don't fucking talk to me!" shouting at him. And I was just too busy, I didn't care, so I was just minding my own business. So after she's done like having this argument, I don't know what it was about, she goes over to the freezer to pick out her food. She grabs all her stuff and she starts walking to the counters. And I was praying that she didn't like go to my counter. So I was just like staring at the other people like, are you gonna take this customer? And they're like shaking their head like, "No, I don't want none of that. Go away." So she storms up to my counter and she slams like her goods on the counter. Like the whole earth shakes for me. The like counter just nearly snaps in half with the brute force that she's like slams her stuff on. And then she's like, "I will not let a man talk to me at night!" And she's like so fucking angry. It's like a man touched her arm and she's gonna file for rape. And like she's like yelling at me. She's like, "I will not let a man talk to me." And I'm just like, oh jeez, do you want your receipt in the bag? Cash or credit, ma'am? And I was just going through my routine, but I was like so nervous as shit. And then like my coworker next to me, she puts her hand on like her hand to like try to calm her down, like, "Oh, sweetie, it's gonna be okay. Just talk it out, girl talk. You know, the girl talks." And then she like draws back her hand in like shock, and my coworker like pulled her hand back in shock and like nearly hit the fridge behind us. And then she's like, "Holy fucking shit!" It was insane. The whole process was truly uncomfortable. She was just like rambling, "That man messed with the wrong woman today. I'm so fucking pissed. Men are fucking terrible." The whole like checkout process was awkward. I didn't know how to ask her for cash or credit. She took like 15 minutes to search for like her cash because like her hands were shaking. No, that's the worst part too. She paid in cash. Like she bought like, I don't know, $100 worth of ham, and then she like No, not even $100. She bought like a 12-pound like little packet of sliced ham, and she brought out like $100, so I had to like find her change. And the worst part is she took like 15 minutes to find $100. Like her hands were shaking in anger. By the time she stepped out of the store, I wouldn't be surprised if she went to the doctor to find out she had arthritis. Her palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms heavy, mom's sweaty spaghetti. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there. So she's just like shaking, grabbing the $100 bill, and I had to find like $90 in cash back, and it was a terribly uncomfortable process. And it was so prolonged. I didn't want to be there. And another funny story. So the next day after that incident, it was really early in the morning. I actually came in at 6:30 in the morning because my boss asked me to, which was before the store even opened. So we're just in there getting ready, and I was standing outside waiting for someone to open the door, and I see like this one car, and I thought, oh, that's just my coworker's car. Nope, it's a customer. She's like, oh, are you open? I'm like, oh no, we're not yet. And then she's like, oh, that's okay, I can wait. And the next second my boss like pulls up in his car. He's like, oh, what's going on? And I'm like, oh, this customer needs some ham. And then my boss like, you know what, we're gonna open 30 minutes early. So we opened 30 minutes early, and the first thing I do when I open the door is I have to rush to the register to like open it, get the like system ready to take care of this customer's order. So she steps in, and then she's like, I want the juiciest ham you have. And the thing about honey baked ham is like we sell hams, and there's like a fridge behind us in the counter. So we have to like go back and forth from the counter to the fridge to like pull out ham and show the customer like, oh, do you want this ham? To like describe the process. And then we have to see if they like it, and if they don't, we have to bring it back and then show them another ham. So we have to go back and forth. So this lady like says, I want the juiciest ham you have, and I want the biggest. Well, the thing is, okay, so in honey baked ham comes in 3 sizes. There's the boneless ham, which isn't juicy and it's like the smallest. The quarter hams are like almost as big as the boneless ham, except they have a bone and they're like really super drippy and juicy. Half hams are like the biggest, like for a party platter. That's like what everyone wants, but they're like typically very dry. And so this lady's like, I want the half ham, but it's juicy. I'm like, but the half hams don't have any juice. And she's like, surprise me. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You fucking bitch. I will fucking bitch slap you to the next universe. Like, what the fuck, bitch? So I spent a good 50 minutes just going back and forth, like, oh, this ham, this one's slightly bigger. And she's like, no,
It's dry. It's dry. I don't like that ham. I don't like that ham.
and so 15 minutes of searching, I went into the back and I found this abnormally sized quarter ham that's as big as a half ham, and it's like super juicy, like it's leaking all over my clothes like as I hold it in my hand. So I'm like, this is the one, you fucking bitch. So I like took it out, slammed it on the counter, juice flies everywhere, and she's like, I'm satisfied. And so she checks it out in like a heartbeat. I scan it, she buys it, she swipes her card, and she's out of the store. I'm like, what a fucking bitch. Anyways, that's the horror stories, telltale stories of honey baked ham. If you like what you saw, say subscribe, like the video, and stay tuned for more stories of honey baked ham and various disasters.